You guys want to learn how to turn $5 into 25 so you can make some extra Christmas cash?
I need some money.
Christmas is my favorite holiday, and it's not because of all the food and the presents, although that's great too, but it's because it's the one time of year fat guys are considered magical. Today I'm going to show you how to turn one fence picket into a Christmas house, and then I'm going to show you how to dress it up so you can maximize profit. I'm even going to give you a recipe for snow. Enough talking, let's get to building. This first build, I'm gonna make the whole thing out of just one of these 3/4 of an inch by 6 foot by 3.5 inch, 3.25 inch pickets. The first thing we need to do is cut the end at a 60-degree point. So use your speed square, make a line, and then keep your pivot. You see that point right there that says pivot? Keep that on the line, and then pivot your speed square until the same edge as your pivot gets to the 60-degree mark, which is about right there. So now that's 60 degrees. Now make your mark. Then flip it to the other side and do the same thing on the other side until you get to 60 degrees, making sure your pivot is on the same line. And boom, that's a 60-degree point right there. The only problem with doing it this way is now you're wasting all this wood up here. So I would get a scrap piece of wood, do the same thing on there, cut your 60-degree point, and then trace it on each piece that you're gonna cut. Now I can't get my saw to 60 degrees because I have a bolt here holding my DeWalt miter saw to my Ryobi miter saw stand. And if you're wondering if that's compatible, barely. So I'm gonna cut the bolt off of mine with a Sawzall. This Sawzall blade is older than my daughter, and my daughter's 22. She'll be 23 pretty soon. Now I should be able to get into 60 degrees. I don't know why, but it won't go past 50 some degrees. I'm close to 60. All right, I figured it out. It's this clamp holding the saw from turning all the way. Okay, now I'm in 60 degrees. This first board, we're gonna cut from the tip down to 12 inches. Then I'm gonna use that first piece and trace it onto the next piece. Okay, so after you cut your 12-inch piece, you're gonna cut 2 more 8-inch pieces with the same 60-degree roof. And then you're gonna cut 1 4-inch piece. The only difference is this is only gonna have a 45-degree roof. So all 3 of these pieces is about 32, 34 inches of your board. So you're gonna have a lot left over. Okay, so you're gonna have this much left. It's about almost 3 foot. And you can use this to finish off your project. Remember I said you could do this whole project with 1 picket. So you can use this to finish off your project, or you can save this, cut another 4 like that, and use a different picket or a different wood, a lighter wood, to accent making the base of the thing, and then you're gonna have some roof trim. So let me show you how to do that, and then you can decide. I'm gonna save this so I can make a second set, and then I'm gonna cut the roof trim and the base out of something different. I'm gonna set my table saw to 1.25 inches. Now this is a 5.5-inch cedar fence picket. It's wider than the redwood that I started with, but it's also about 50 cents cheaper. And you could probably get about 2 of these projects out of 1 picket. Now I like it because it's gonna contrast the redwood that I'm using. But if you wanted to do it all out of 1 picket, you could use a little bit of paint mixed with some water. You don't have to use 2 different ones to get a contrast. Now right about now is when I started pushing this board into my camera stand, and I can't figure out why the board's not going through. And now it looks like I'm in a villain's lair in the old Batman show. Remember that, where the villain's lairs were on an angle, were slanted?
Batman, why for art thou doing this to me?
It's my job, Catwoman.
So now we're gonna take that strip that we just cut out and cut it into 8 pieces. And 6 of those pieces are gonna have that same 60-degree miter cut into them. So the roof pieces for the 60-degree roofs are roughly 4 3/4 inches. And for the 45-degree roof, 3 1/4 to 3 5/16. Not a big deal. I'm gonna put 2 windows, 1 in each of the 8-inch pieces, and I'm using a piece of scrap as a template, and it's a piece of scrap from the roof. So it's 1.25 inches wide and 2 1/4 inches long. And then I'm also gonna make it 2 1/4 inches from the peak of the roof. So you can use it as its own measuring thing. So I'm gonna put a mark here. That's gonna be the top of the window. And then I'm gonna center it in here like so. I'm just gonna eyeball center and then check that it's square. And then I'm gonna trace it out. And that's what I'm gonna cut out as the window. So 2¼ inches from the peak. That's gonna be the top of the window. I'm gonna eyeball center and just make sure that it's square. Looks about right there. If it comes out crooked or anything, just tell everybody it's rustic. And then for the tall 12-inch piece, I cut a perfect square. So it's 1¼ inch by 1¼ inch. And this is also gonna be 2¼ inches from the top to match the rest. So this is about where this is gonna go. Double check center. Make sure I'm square. Trace the square. Then for the smallest 4-inch piece, this is where the door is gonna go. So for the door is also a scrap, so it's 1¼ inch wide, but this one is about 2 5/8, 2 9/16 long. And I'm just gonna make sure that's center and then trace it out. I'm gonna use this scroll saw blade in my jigsaw to cut out the windows. It's a pretty skinny blade. I'm gonna drill a hole in all the corners of my windows before I cut them out. And you just gotta make sure you have a drill bit that's fatter than your saw blade. Then just drill a hole inside the corner, not on the line, but inside the line. Now it's hard to see the lines in this, but you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Since my blade is short,
That's what she said.
I was able to just straddle my pieces over 2 2x4s and use that to cut them out. And then just cut from one hole to the next. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I got all my windows and my door, my one door, cut into the Picket pieces. Now this next step is optional. This is completely up to you. Meaning you can either do it, you don't have to do it, or you can do it whatever way you want. I'm gonna give you some different options here. You know I like to do that. These are all different size sticks that I've gotten from Walmart. They sell them right in their craft section. And you get a pack of a lot of sticks. This is 75 of these in here. This is 150 popsicle sticks. And then they have the big ones. These are like little match sticks. And then they have this assorted sticks. You could use them. You can make your own if you want. You could do something like this with the stir sticks, put them on around the window so it looks like it's cased out. You could put one across the middle and glue it into the side. Not a lot of material to work with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these squares. They're a little bit thicker than the stir sticks. They come in these packs. You can buy these also. That's just like a square dowel. Home Depot also sells these and in different lengths. They're actually much longer at Home Depot. And I'm gonna wrap the doors with these because they're a lot thicker, and when I glue them together, it's gonna hold a little better. There's a little bit more surface area because they're a thicker, they're like a square. So using the little window templates that we made earlier, you can use that to cut this wood. You can just set it up against it. And then I'm gonna use a pull saw. You can mark it if you want with a pencil or mark it with like a knife or something using the blocks like this. And then cut it on a bandsaw, whatever saw you want to use to cut it. I'm just gonna cut it with these this pull saw. It's just easier. It only takes a few seconds to cut through one of these. It makes a nice clean cut. I'll leave a link to this pull saw in the video description if you guys want to get one. So now you can case one out like this, just simply. Just nice and simple. And then I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna either make a, you guys let me know. Should I just do one across like that? My wife, she don't like to keep things simple for me. She thinks I should do 2 of them like that. And then I was thinking if I'm gonna do that, maybe I should just do this and make it a cross in the window. And make it a cross in the window. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments which way you think I should go. All right, I built another style of frame, and now we're having a family crisis over here. Well, all right, it's not a crisis, but a family dilemma. I can't decide which one I like better. My daughter likes this one better. She said it looks more like a rustic old house. My wife likes this one better because it sticks out further from the house. And she said this one kind of looks like popsicle sticks. She likes them both, but she prefers that one. My daughter prefers that one. Help me solve this family crisis, guys. Let me know in the comments. Which one do you guys think I should go with? What do you guys like better? One thing that helped me out, I thought I'd pass along, was I used this corner clamp thing to keep everything square while I glued it up. Okay, so I got all my doors made and everything. I'm gonna assemble it all now. I'm gonna start by gluing and pin nailing the roof on. To keep the roof flush to the back of the Picket, I'm gonna put it on the table. I'm leaking. Then I'm just gonna tack it with a pin nail on each side. Hold on, I'm coming apart. I don't think I put enough glue. kind of rough, so I'm gonna put some on the rough side too. I'm gonna pin it together. Oh, safety glasses. There you go. Sand a little just because one lip was sticking over the other. If you have spots that you need to, if you have one of these little finger sanders, you can get inside these windows pretty easily and clean them up a little bit. I'll put a link to these in the description. I think they're less than like 10 bucks and you get a ton of like sandpaper and stuff for them. So to put on the doors and the windows, I put a little bit of wood glue. Well, I used wood glue on this first one, but it was kind of a pain in the butt. So the rest of them, I only use CA glue. But on this door, because it was a little bit wider of a frame, I put some wood glue, then just a little bit of CA glue to hold it till the wood glue dried. And as you can see, I used the thicker wood for the popsicle stick wood for the door, and then the square wood for the windows. Now I'm going to attach them all to this 1x4 base. First, I got to find the center of a 9-inch base. So this is 4.5 inches is my center. So I already marked it. That's my center right there. Then I want to find the center of the tallest building, peak, whatever you want to call this thing, rocket. I want to find the center of that. So half of that's about 1 11/16. So when I find the center of my backboard and the center of this board, I can line them up. Now I'm going to glue it to the base. So to hold the base on, I'm not just going to glue it. I'm also going to brad nail it. Which this turns out to be a mistake because I forgot to do something. Quabam! So I'm going to put the two sides on, and I'm going to use some scrap Picket and put it underneath of there so it doesn't tilt on you. And then you're just going to run this all the way to the edge on both sides. You're going to do this. Jingle bells, Jasco smells like sawdust and farts. I'm going to tack these together with a couple of pin nails. And now the last house, just do the same thing, but you're going to put this one right in the center. Just like that. I'm going to throw a couple pin nails in this one just to hold it in place while the glue dries. Then I'm going to switch back to my brad nailer and throw a couple brads in these to hold them in place. I'm going to add a little pop out under this window just to decorate this part up a little bit more. Okay, I saw a video where this guy makes faux snow. Faux snow. No, he makes fake snow with Mod Podge and some baking soda. So I'm gonna try to make it and see how it comes out. I'll do a little test piece. And if you don't have Mod Podge, or however you say that, Mod Podge, if you don't have that, you can use Elmer's glue. I've seen people do it with Elmer's glue also. All right, so that should be liquidy enough. I mean, I'm gonna put more than that in. I'm just saying, oh look, see there's boogers and stuff in. I need a paper towel, hold on. I'm gonna put a little bit of baking powder. I'm not measuring this out. The dude measured it, but he didn't do the right measurement. So I just looked at the consistency. You want to be like paste or like wall compound. Maybe a little bit more Mod Podge. Oh, look, it puffs up. You see that puffing up? Oh, snap. I hope it doesn't puff all over the place.
That's what she said.
I did not expect that. He didn't say that. I don't know if I did something weird. Maybe because mine's old. So then I'm going to put a little bit of white paint. All my stuff is so old and crusty. Yeah, the guy that made it, his didn't foam up like that. I don't know why mine foamed up like that. Now, he did say you can add a spot of blue to it, but I'm kind of hesitant because I don't want it to overpower. I'm going to put the tiniest drop I can get on here of blue. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. My blue is dried up. Welcome to the desert. Everything dries up. Everybody's like, it's a dry heat. Yeah, it just dries your soul right out of you. Yeah, it's all right. So guess we're not doing the blue. This is my test piece. I'm gonna brush some on here because it's the same material I'm using over there, but I'm gonna leave it thick on the roof. Okay, so you're supposed to be able to take a heat gun or a blow dryer and hit it with it, and it makes it puff up and look like puffy snow. So you guys let me know if it looks like that. I see it puffing up back here. Can you guys tell in the video? So now this is what I would do along there. I would come up close to the edge of the house, of the roof tiles, and maybe even scrape some on the edge and then pull it back so it's nice and puffy. All right, let's try that. Yeah, it's puffing up. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can, but I think that's gonna look really good. So I'm gonna let that sit and see how hard it gets before I actually put it onto the house, because I don't wanna mess the house up. If it doesn't dry all the way or it's gummy, it stays gummy. So I'm gonna let that sit and dry. Let's just watch it dry.
2 hours later.
Can you guys see that? It's not completely dry, but I can touch it. It's not like gummy or sticky or anything. And I think that looks pretty cool. It does look like snow. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Underneath, it's still like squishy like my stomach, but other than that, it seems to be pretty good. I'm gonna let it dry overnight and see how it comes out. Okay, so these are the 3 snow samples I did. This one I did another coating and I put some glitter on it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Everybody liked this one the best. And then this one's just regular. This is just the snow stuff. It foamed up. It almost feels like a hard foam is what it feels like. And then this is the third one. This also has glitter in it, but this is a different kind of glitter. Nobody liked this one. It kind of looks, it was supposed to be pearlish white, but it looks like a silver, more of a silver. So we're gonna go with this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which one do you guys like the best? I'm gonna mix up a little bit more. I'm gonna mix the sprinkles right into it. Or not sprinkles, what are they? The sparkles. No, the glitter. No, I'm not fat, sprinkles. Like I'm making donuts over here. Oh, I might have added too much sitting here laughing at myself. Yeah, when you first put it together, it foams up like a marshmallow cream or something. Can you tell I'm fat? Sprinkles, marshmallow cream. You guys want to see the consistency. See, it's like a marshmallow cream. You guys ever buy that marshmallow cream and put it with peanut butter sandwiches? Not jelly, just marshmallow and peanut butter. Ooh, it's good. That'll fatten you up real good. I'm just gonna brush it on here like paint. I'm gonna dab at it to give it some texture. I like to do this on the edges so it kind of builds up on the edges. So when you look at it from the front, it looks like snow's built up, you know? What do you guys think? Does that look good? Does it look like snow? I haven't blow dried it yet or heat gunned it, whatever you want to call it. The insides are going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to do. While I'm applying this snow, I'm imagining that I'm working my dream job as a professional Pop-Tart icer. And this would be a great time for you guys to do me a favor and hit that like button if you like the video. Leave me a comment, ask me something. Hey, when's the last time you were able to see your feet? Do you smell like hot dog water or do you just look like you do? If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to my channel. And also there's a new hype feature. If you guys can hit that hype button, that would be awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate anything of any one of those things you guys do. I just realized my front door, you're supposed to see light pass through it. I was supposed to cut a hole in the back there so that light could pass through the front door. Now I got to drill a hole in the bottom of it. I was going to drill a hole with the Forstner bit, but because I have all those nails in the bottom going into the board, I decided to use my Dremel and try to cut them out. Now, it worked pretty good, but I had to make a lot of passes. And then I had to cut out the nails. And it's okay, I don't really need those nails there because all these pieces are glued together and the other pieces have nails in them. Bam, what do you guys think? I think it came out pretty good. I got these trees off of Amazon. I got 2 different kinds. I got a pack of 30 and they just look like different assorted trees like this. And then I got this other pack. These aren't as realistic, but they had like some silver ones in there. So if you wanted to add a little silver or some different colors into your little village scene, I like the regular looking trees. I put 2 different sizes so it doesn't look like it's fake. And you can glue these down. I didn't glue mine down yet. And then so I got the hole cut out. You can put a light in here. They probably can't see it right now because I got the garage lights on. And then I got another light that you just put behind it. And I'll turn off the lights and show you how that looks. I have a string of lights and you see me use these before. They're really cheap and they come with such a small holder. It's so easy to hide. And originally I was planning on putting these on there, but the lights are so far apart. Like you see how far apart those are? There's one light on the tip and the next light doesn't come till the peak of the roof. So it'll be a light here and a light here. That's too far apart in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys can find some closer together lights. I couldn't find anything on these fairy lights that told you the distance between the lights. So if you were gonna sell these trees, I got 30 of them for $15.99. So around a little more than 50 cents a tree. So if you wanted to put one on there or two, that adds $1 to your cost to make one of these. If you put one, it's about 50 cents. So you don't have to put the trees on there, but if you're gonna make it for yourself, you might wanna order some of these trees. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what you think I could have done differently. And again, thank you for watching. Now get to building.
We're sanding lots of Christmas trees to make some holiday cash. Some people like Jasco Goods, but others call him white trash. Dan, 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 dan.